Dear students of class 9th, in this video we'll revise lesson number 2 of geography. Name of the chapter is Physical Features of India. In the previous videos, what I told you, there are three major landforms, or you can say the physiographic divisions, or you can say the reliefs: mountain, plateau, and the plains. What we are getting on the surface of the earth. And with regard to our country, as our country is very vast one, it is the seventh largest country in the world in term of area. So all the major physiographic units like mountain, plateau and the plains, we are getting within the boundary of our country. So regarding the formation of all these features or the landforms, different hypotheses are there given by different geoscientists, or you can say the scientists. So the hypotheses or the thoughts or the theories given by the different scientists, among those most relevant, most scientific and most accepted one is the theory of plate tectonics. According to this theory, the crust of the earth has been formed out of seven major and some minor plates, and these plates, they are floating in the semi-solid layer of the earth that is known as asthenosphere. So these plates, tectonic plates or the lithospheric plates, are having three types of movements. First one, that is the convergent movement, second one divergent movement, and the third one, that is the transform. So these are the three types of movements in the tectonic plates, or you can say the lithospheric plates. And these movements are leading to folding, faulting and the volcanic activities. And due to these activities, present landforms, what we are getting on the surface of the earth or in the territory of our country, have been formed. After that, we will discuss about the formation of major reliefs of our country. So you can see this map. In the north we are getting mountains, then we are getting great northern plain, and this part is the peninsular part of our country. So these are the major physiographic units or the landforms of our country. Regarding the formation of these major landforms of our country, geoscientists are believing that there were two ancient shields: Angara land, or you can say the Eurasian plate in the north, Gondwana land or Indo-Australian plate in the south. And these two plates were sandwiched by a shallow sea named Tethys, or simply we can say geosyncline. Geosyncline means a shallow elongated sea is known as geosyncline, named Tethys. So the rivers which were draining Angara land in the north and the Gondwana land in the south, they deposited the sediments in the Tethys. And later on, the northward drift or movement of the Indo-Australian plate resulted in collision of the plate with much larger Eurasian plate. And due to this collision, the sediments or the sedimentary rocks which were accumulated or deposited in the geosyncline known as Tethys were folded to form mountain system of Western Asia and the Himalayas. After that, we will discuss about regarding the formation of plain. So regarding the formation of plain, this part, when the Himalayas were taking their birth from the Tethys Sea, when the Himalayas were rising from the Tethys, at that time what happened, the northern edge, the northern boundary of the peninsular plateau subsided. And due to the subsidence of the northern edge or the northern boundary of the plateau, large basin was formed. And this basin was filled by deposition of sediments by the Himalayan rivers and also the peninsular rivers. And due to the deposition of the sediments by the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers, the great northern plain of India has been formed. After that, in the south, we are getting peninsular plateau. So, with regard to this southern part, peninsular plateau, this is the broken part of the Gondwana land, and this plateau is one of the ancient land masses on the surface of the earth. And with regard to our country in India, this is the oldest land mass. You may get the question, name the oldest land mass of India. So then you will write peninsular plateau. It was supposed to be one of the most stable land block. After that, we will discuss about the Himalayas. So, with regard to the Himalayas, you can see here in this map, this brown part is showing you the Himalayan mountains. So, with regard to the Himalayas, they are geologically young and structurally formed mountains. So, the Himalayas are also known as young fold mountains. So, with regard to the Himalayas, they are lying along the northern frontier of our country, just like an arc in between the Indus River in the west, Indus River in the west to the Brahmaputra River in the east. Or in other words, what we can say, that Himalayas are lying just like an arc along the northern frontiers of our country, in between the gorge of Indus in the west to the gorge of Brahmaputra in the east. So, with regard to gorge, what is gorge? You can see this diagram what I have drawn here. So, with regard to the gorge, it is also known as ice-shaped valley. Generally, in those areas where the amount of rainfall is scanty and course of the river is made up of hard rock, so downward cutting, undercutting is done by the stream of water or a river, and due to which the banks of the river become just like two vertical walls. Such a river valley is known as gorge, and as it is resembling the English alphabet I, so it is also known as I-shaped valley. So we can say that the Himalayas are lying in between the gorge of Indus in the west to the gorge of Brahmaputra in the east. The total length is about 2400 kilometer, and with regard to the width varies from 400 kilometer in west, that is in the state of Kashmir, to 150 kilometer in the east, that is in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. And with regard to the height, the eastern half is having maximum height in comparison to the western half of the Himalayas. It is having three parallel ranges. So I have drawn the parallel ranges here. You can see three parallel ranges are there. The northernmost range is known as Himadri, or if you want, you can call it Greater Himalaya or the Inner Himalaya. The middle range, that is known as Himachal or the Lesser Himalaya. The southernmost range, that is known as Shivalik or the Outer Himalayas. These are the names given to the different ranges of the Himalayas. Now we'll discuss about the Himadri range. This is the northernmost range of the Himalayas. Average height is ranging in between 6,000 meters or more than that. And with regard to the this range of the Himalaya, it is most prominent range of the Himalayas, most continuous range of the Himalaya, and important peaks of the Himalayas are lying in this range of the Himalayas. If you want, you can take the example of Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga. These are the important peaks which are lying in the northernmost range of the Himalayas. Another feature is that with regard to this range of the Himalaya, the core, the innermost part of this range of the Himalaya is composed of granite, that is igneous rock. Another feature is that this range of the Himalaya is permafrost. It is covered with the snow and ice sheets throughout the year. After that, we will discuss about the southern range, that is the Himachal or the Lesser Himalaya, and as it is lying in the middle, so we can call it the middle range of the Himalaya also. So with regard to the Himachal and the Lesser Himalaya, it is mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rock. And with regard to the height is ranging in between 3,700 meter to 4,500 meter above the mean sea level. And with regard to the average width, that is about 50 kilometer. So with regard to the Himadri range, it is also having the average width of about 50 kilometer, and with regard to the Himachal, it is also having average width of about 50 kilometer. Another important feature is that most of the important hill stations are lying in this range of the Himalayas. It also consists of famous valleys of Kashmir, the Kangra, the Kullu Valley. After that, we will discuss about the Shivalik or the Outer Himalaya. This is the southernmost range of the Himalayas. The average height of this range is ranging in between 900 to 1100 meter, and with regard to the width, that is ranging in between 10 to 50 kilometer. And this range of the Himalaya is made up of unconsolidated sediments, means soft sediments. And as this range of the Himalaya is made up of soft sediments, so landslide is very common here. After that, we will discuss about longitudinal valleys. We are getting longitudinal valleys in between Lesser Himalaya and Outer Himalaya, in between the Lesser Himalaya and the Outer Himalaya, and these longitudinal valleys, or we can say the narrow valleys, are known as dunes. You can take the example of Dehradun, Kotli Dun, Patli Dun. These are some of the important dunes, or we can say the longitudinal valleys, which are lying in between the Himachal and the Shivalik ranges. After that, we will discuss about the eastern side. So you can see here, after reaching Himalayas, after reaching the gorge of Brahmaputra, Himalayas are taking southward turn, and in these southern parts we are getting number of hills. You can see here like Garo, Khasi, Jansia. Then we are also getting Naga Hill, Patakai, Boom. So all these hills together known as Purvanchal, or simply if you want you can call them as Eastern Hills. After that, we will discuss about the vertical, or you can say the longitudinal divisions of the Himalayas. So from west to east, Himalayas have been divided into four sections, and these divisions have been demarcated by the river valleys. So first one, that is the part of the Himalayas lying in between Indus and Satluj river. So that is known as Punjab Himalaya, but it is also known regionally as Kashmir and Himachal Himalayas from west to east respectively. Then part of the Himalayas lying in between Satluj and Kali river, that is known as Kumayu Himalayas. and the part of the Himalaya lying in between Kali and Tista river, that is known as Nepal Himalaya, and the fourth section, that is lying in between Tista and the Dihang river, that is known as Assam Himalayas. So these are the demarcation of Himalayas from west to east. So these are all about the Himalayas, and next topic we will revise in the next video.